pleasant good evening and welcome to SAT TV's Channel 9 Evening News. I'm your presenter, Larry Larrock. Thank you for joining us. Among the major developments, local resort receives top award. Jamaica debt reduction imperative, says Finance Minister. Despite endgame fears, no need to rush Iran nuclear talks. Wind displayer strikes unbeaten half-century. Detail of these and other stories after the break. Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. The National Youth Council held its 7th annual award ceremony at the Crazy Coconuts on Saturday, May 26, where a number of young persons were awarded for their contributions. The NYC of Dominica, which is said to have a long history of supporting, promoting, and sustaining a tradition of youth development, youth empowerment, and youth involvement, rewarded several youth and youth groups for their amazing contribution towards their communities. Chief Youth Development Officer Mr. Jules Pascal urged the various awardees to see the award as an encouragement to work towards the future development and contribution towards the positive development of their communities and by extension the country. He said that very often we hear a lot of negative things about young people, but the fact that some of them were awarded for their contributions is something that needs to be highlighted.
And this year's theme, recognizing the contribution of our Dominican youth, suggests that the National Youth Council is demonstrating to the rest of Dominica that our youth need to be recognized, maybe a little more than they're being criticized. Our youth need to be encouraged, maybe a little more than they're being discouraged, because there are lots of discouragement in all different areas in this country. Our youth need to be complimented a little more, maybe more than they're being left out. Our youth need to be embraced a little more for the very good things that they're doing. And they need to be singled out for the good things that they're doing.
Mr. Pascal encouraged the awardees to value themselves as well as the contribution which they have made, but also to be their best, which he said involves humility, commitment, sincerity, and hard work. He also urged the executive of the NYC to make a greater effort at promoting the youth awards to ensure that they receive an increased number of nominations, in which he said could be through the use of social networking sites such as Facebook. Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Mrs. Justina Charles, encouraged the awardees and the youth on the island to keep working to greater things and be advocates and provide leadership. Mrs. Charles also applauded the young people who make positive contributions in various sectors such as sports, ICT, culture, and education, amongst others.
Too often, we hear negative comments about our young people that are detrimental to their own psychic, that impact negatively on their moral, that daunt their spirit, that discredit their effort, while we cast a blind eye to the many achievements and the role played by the young people in shaping the future for all of us.
She also called on the citizens to embrace, guide, and encourage the youth as they possess skills, energy, and that level of enthusiasm that is required to move this country forward in creating a beautiful future for all citizens, young and old. The award and awardees were Deslin Vidal for academics, Kavim Hodge for male athletic achievement, Luan Gabriel for female athletic achievement, Joy Vernell Augustine for community involvement, while Sol Enterprises was awarded for agriculture, and Herman Williams for entrepreneurship business. Some of the other awards went to Giselle Pierre-Toussaint for Beyond Expectations, Asha Thomas with a music award, Flamboyant Dancers won the award for culture, and the President's Award went to Cynthia Joseph, amongst others. Locals, foreigners, and Ross University students gathered at the Cabbage Resort on Sunday, May 27th to witness superb jazz music from artists such as Breve and Fitzroy Williams at the Jazz and Creole Music Festival. festival took off with the first performance from the band Breve, where lead singer Miss Leanne Leta from the village of Goodwill blew the crowd away with her breathtaking vocals. The public appeared to be in tune with Miss Leta's music and was not afraid to let it be known. Breve was not the only band that made a memorable impact as Fitzroy Williams came onto the stage. The band performed 4 songs, however the last 2 caused an exhilarating reaction when the band made a tribute to the late Jeff Joe. The festival gave ministers and directors such as Honorable Ian Douglas and Director of Tourism Mr. Colin Piper the opportunity to socialize at this fulfilling event. Locals stated that the festival was a money well spent event and they also look forward onto the next. A number of persons turned out to witness the Miss Isidore pageant, which was held in the village of Saint-Sauveur on Sunday, May 27th. They were graced with the presence of 5 lovely young ladies, which were Dennis Durand, Sherman Eustace, Lynn Nichols, Calincia Bernard, all of the village of Petit Soufriere, and Aisha Nichols of Saint-Sauveur. The show, which was hosted by Miguel Abadi, featured 5 lovely young ladies who competed in 3 rounds: talent in round 1, casual wear in round 2, and evening wear and question and answer in round 3. Each of the 5 young ladies put on an entertaining performance, which the crowd was very appreciative for, in addition to their skits that they performed in the talent round. However, there could only be one winner after all the performances, and that lucky person was no other than Aisha Nichols of Saint-Sauveur. Miss Nichols also won Best Talent, Best Casual Wear, Best in Evening Wear, and Miss Intelligence. Linda Nichols won Miss Photogenic, while Dennis Durand won Miss Amity and Best Evening Wear. Second runner-up went to Lina Nichols and first runner-up went to Calincia Bernard. All of the ladies received trophies for their participation in the pageant. In related news, the official Mass of Fête Isidore was held at the St. Patrick's Catholic Church on Monday, May 28th, where people gathered to celebrate. The populace wore exquisite Creole wear whilst they danced and sang to popular hymns such as Isidore Praise and Gloria et nous Wemise Body. Granby Parish Priest Father Reginald Loeffler was very pleased with the turnout as well as the presence of ministers and ambassadors. After the collection segment, a presentation of delightful gifts took place. The Mass ended with our famous Creole song, Papa Body, as people made their way out of the church singing and dancing. Hoteliers and resorts in Dominica are being urged to step up their efforts so that they can be recognized internationally. The statement was made by Tourism Minister Honorable Ian Douglas at the official ceremony where the Rosalie Bay Resort received the Green Globe Award on Saturday, May 26. Mr. Douglas says that it is very important that we use Dominica's natural attributes and geological location to package to offer to the rest of the world.
And more the conscious tourist, right, or the conscious traveler in the world is looking for more authentic, organic experiences. And that's where I believe our comparative advantage lies. And that's why I think that we and the Rosalie Bay Resort is doing really positions Dominica to be one of the leading tourism destinations for the foreseeable future. And that's why we're very happy to be here, and we're very proud of what you have achieved. We're happy that you have actually taken a deliberate decision to position the hotel, to build the hotel, to create that experience that is truly Dominican, that is truly organic, that is truly authentic, because we believe that is what the brand is all about.
Mr. Douglas commended the owners of Rosalie Bay Resort for the achievement of receiving such a prestigious award. He said that it was a positive initiative that they involved the community in the construction of the facility. He also pointed out that they are trying their best to make everything about the resort as Dominican as possible, which was what many others need to follow with ideas such as using many local materials they can, also providing power via wind turbine, amongst others. CEO of Discover Dominica Authority and Director of Tourism, Mr. Colin Piper, who also congratulated the owners of Rosalie Bay Resort, Ms. Beverly and Mr. Oscar, for the award, says that this award will go a long way not only for promoting the resort but also promoting Dominica as a destination.
The fact that you've stuck to it for so long to achieve this certification is in fact an indication of your intent to be with us for a while and to continue to offer the type of exemplary quality and service that we want our destination to be known for. We have the most recent experience for the type of public awareness that properties can bring to a destination through their achievements.
President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Ms. Ivona Moore, says not only this is a great achievement for the resort, but also for Dominica, the nature isle of the Caribbean, which will benefit in terms of tourism. Ms. Marissa Sabroch, who was in charge of ensuring the resort was prepared for passing the test and achieving the Green Globe certification, says it was very hard work in getting everything done, but they did it. She gave a special attention to the management and staff of the resort for their hard work in helping achieve the certification as they all work together as a team.
Because of the comprehensive nature of the Green Globe certification, there was a lot of preparation which needed to take place. As you know, in this industry, this is no typical 8-4 job. It took the dedication of everyone at the resort for us to see this to completion. I commend everyone who played an active role in this process. Your commitment played a huge part in the result's success. We are young in the industry, and it took the assistance of everyone to achieve this.
Ms. Sabroch went on to say that the journey is not over, but the first milestone have been achieved. Green Globe representative Ms. Wendy Walker says this is a true manifestation of dreams, determination, and commitment to preservation. Ms. Walker pointed out that the Green Globe company has been around since the 1990s.
Its advent started with the concerns of local hoteliers and the umbrella organization CHTA, recognizing that if the foundation of the tourism sector, the environment, were to be degraded, then this would lead to direct impacts on GDP, the economies, and the very livelihood of the people of the islands and the Caribbean as a whole. It would be necessary to develop the sector in such a way as to protect the environment and mitigate any negative impacts where they could not be avoided. Sustainable tourism was the coined phrase, entailing industry practices that would safeguard future opportunities for economic growth.
Some of the contributing factors that earned the resort the award were water consumption, wind-generated electricity, the Turtle Project, original building documentation, and also conservation efforts, amongst others. There were 339 aspects that had to be done, and the resort scored 82%. We now go to Desin Josie for a report on the Tourism Expo.
Right now we're at the village of Mero, where ministers and officials gathered for the official ceremony of the tourism trade show. The Discover Dominica Authority held an opening ceremony of the Tourism Trade Show Expo on Saturday, May 26 in the community of Mero. Minister of Tourism, Mr. Ian Douglas, says it brings him great pleasure to be part of the Dominica Community Tourism Association. Mr. Douglas says we are blessed with natural and geographical attributes that are only unique to us, and this is why we are the nature island.
The country can boast of having 365 rivers, one for every day of the year. We have the largest boiling lake in the world. We are home to numerous flora and fauna, different plant and animal life, found only in Dominica. We have the only long-distance hiking trail in the Western Hemisphere, and one of probably less than 5 of them in the world. Home to the only surviving indigenous people in the region, and I could go on and on and on about things that Dominica possess. Only Dominica in the world.
He says our unique and natural attributes have been the element of fascination that has led many from distant lands to our shores from the beginning of time.
Today, our rugged, unspoiled beauty, which to foreigners may have seemed like a disadvantage to developing the typical tourism destination of probably what we have come to know as sun, sand and sea. But these characteristics that we possess, which in the past may have been a disadvantage, I think today is our greatest attribute and our comparative advantage. And this is what gives us the right to call our land the nature island of the world. The typical sun, sand and sea image of the Caribbean is now being rapidly complemented by the lush greenery and the crystal waters of Dominica. The image of a multi-storied high-rise hotel on the Caribbean white sand beach is now being challenged by our mountain view villas tucked away nicely in our rain-swept.
Mr. Douglas went on to say the songs and sights of the big city life are now being avoided by the traveler because of our natural attributes such as the sweet songs of birds. Parliamentary representative of St. Joseph, Mr. Kelva Daru, says the Mero community has set the standards in Dominica for community tourism.
I'd like to commend the community of Mero and the Mero Enhancement Committee for recently its achievements and receiving an award from the Caribbean Tourism Association. Let's put our hands together for the Mero Enhancement Committee. And I must say that the committee continues to work tirelessly to ensure that community tourism here in Mero, those a very small community, can indeed be taken to a new level. Let me say, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, that community tourism is very important here in this country. Simply because here in Dominica, we have a number of communities which have their own unique styles, their own unique way of doing things. And as a country, we have to continue to promote community tourism.
Mr. Daru believes that the community tourism is one of the ways that we can look forward to improvements for our people. Acting Prime Minister at the event, Mr. Colin McIntyre, says that we should continue to invest and develop our tourism industry.
Because they are seeing the importance of tourism in terms of the village and the friendliness and the coexistence of man and turtles and animals, where we can all make a living. Just a while ago, just behind me, all the nets we see there, that's part of tourism as well too. I saw the big seagulls there, right next to the boats, and the men are there trying to catch the fish to feed the population in terms of marine protein. And we saw the big seagulls right alongside man as well too, trying to get some fish as well too, with no war whatsoever. So this is the sort of harmony I want to see here. Now, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, all speakers before me have spoken about the visitors and safety. And this Labour Party government wants to condemn any act of violence against our people.
Local vendor Mr. Helroy George says he has been making these natural products for as long as he can remember. Mr. George mentioned that his inspiration comes from within, and this is more than just a job to him. I'm Desmond Joseph reporting for SAT TV News. And back to you, Larry.
Thank you, Ms. Josie, for that report. We now go to Desmond Josie for tonight's court news.
One man can truly say he received a second chance when he faced Roseau Magistrate on Tuesday, May 29th. The defendant, who is Donald Correa, was charged with using threatening language as a result of a complaint made against him by his neighbor Avril Mason. Ms. Mason said that the defendant told her, and I quote, "I will do something with you," and posed to pick up the pieces. However, Mr. Correa received an early Christmas present as Ms. Mason decided to not pursue the matter against him. When questioned by Magistrate Kanya George for her motive to discontinue the matter if she was threatened, beaten or bribed, she said no, she was not. Ms. Mason explained that the defendant was charged for throwing missiles on the house previously, which he pled guilty to, and he was fined by another magistrate. She also said that the magistrate requested a psychiatric evaluation to be carried out on Mr. Correa because he has a mental imbalance. Ms. Mason went on to say all she wants is peace as well as the defendant to get a serious warning so she does not lose any more tenants as a result of his behavior and loud music. Magistrate Judge warned the defendant, instructing him to not disrupt Miss Mason nor her tenants and also play his music at a reasonable volume so it does not disturb anyone. She went on to advise him to take medication and try his best to live peace with his neighbors. Both the complainant and the defendant live at Jimmet.
Thank you, Ms. Josie, for tonight's court news. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.